The San Francisco 49ers travel to New Orleans to face the Saints on Sunday in one of Week 11's better games. New Orleans, a 3.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. 48 is the total in this game. I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this line, I had an immediate strong lean to the New Orleans side. Listen, I love betting on the Saints at home, and why not? They are 22-5 against the spread in their last 27 home games, despite being favored in 25 of those 27 games. Every game, people know the Saints are going to win, the lines are set accordingly, yet they still exceed expectations. Of course, they do it mostly because of their offense, which is the second best offense in the NFL this year, behind only Denver. They rank second to the Broncos in both total offense and scoring offense. But New Orleans is not only that offense this season. They've been playing pretty well on the defensive side of the ball as well. Rob Ryan, first-year defensive coordinator, has done a great job there. Remember, last season the Saints allowed more yards than any defense in NFL history. And this season, here we are in Week 11, and they're fifth in the NFL in points allowed. They're right next to this week's opponent, San Francisco. The Niners, who are known for having one of the league's best defenses, they rank fourth in points allowed. The Saints right behind them at fifth in points allowed. Now, San Francisco has been playing well this season. They did have their 5-game winning streak snap last week in a 10-9 loss to Carolina. But again, when I first looked at this game, I just struggled to envision how San Francisco was going to keep up with the New Orleans Saints in this situation. I've talked myself out of it, though, not including this game among my best bets, and two things have done it for me. Number one, the Saints, one of the most popular public bets on the board this week. I'm not the only person that saw the Saints as only a 3.5 or 3-point favorite. This line is 3 some places out in Las Vegas. Again, 3.5 on BETDAQ. I'm not the only person that saw the Saints at that number and thought, hey, it might be a good idea to jump on. I'm sure a lot of people were watching that game last week when they absolutely demolished the Dallas Cowboys, rang up 49 points, set an NFL record with 40 first downs, a franchise record with 625 yards of offense. And again, San Francisco lost last week to the Carolina Panthers, so a lot of people on the Saints here. That makes me a little nervous always, anytime you're on the same side as the public. What really did it for me here, what has really scared me off of the Saints side, is the fact that New Orleans is last in the NFL in rush yards allowed, or yards per rushing attempt allowed, I should say. The Saints allow 5 yards per rushing attempt. That is worst in the league. And the 49ers, we know that offense is built around the power running game. San Francisco currently fourth in the NFL in rush yards per game. They average nearly 150 rushing yards per game. Remember a couple of weeks ago, the New Orleans Saints lost 26-20 to the New York Jets. The Jets beat them by running it right down their throat. Chris Ivory ran for 173 yards in that game. So it wouldn't surprise me if San Francisco employed the same game plan here. And based on what we've seen out of the two teams this season, it wouldn't surprise me if they had success. I do expect Frank Gore to have a big game here. Wouldn't surprise me if Colin Kaepernick got loose on the ground as well. Now, Kaepernick has had trouble passing the ball recently. The 49ers, 32nd, dead last in the NFL in passing offense. So they better be able to run the ball. Otherwise, they might end up like last week where they only managed 9 points as they did against Carolina. But I think they will be able to run the ball in this situation. So I think this is going to be a great, great game. I would not bet against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. So I can't advise that bet. I do still have a Saints lean here. But again, I've had some second thoughts, so won't be including this one among my best bets.